Okay, welcome to Z-School 20.9. Today we're going to talk about Zoho CRM Analytics. They call it Analytics here. If you have an older version of Zoho, it might be called Dashboards. Zoho likes to confuse people sometimes with their names. This is not the same as Zoho Analytics, which is a separate app. Zoho also has a separate app called Zoho Campaigns, but Campaigns within CRM is different from that, and the Analytics within CRM is different from Zoho Analytics. Kind of similar enough to be confusing. So we're in a demo system here. What we did last week was we showed everyone how to write and run basic reports. And all a report is kind of a subset of your data, like, new leads last month. You're just looking at leads for a month, and you want to sort them and order them and maybe total them up or count them. So you group and sort and aggregate your data the way you want, and that's what we did. Once you know how to write those reports, which is the topic of last week's session, you can then create dashboards and or what they call analytics. And so we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to show you how to use them and how to maybe make your own. But the analytics are based on the reports you write. In other words, the reports gather up the data, and then the analytics display it in a pretty way. So let's go into Zoho. I'm logged into a demo system. There isn't a lot of data in here, but we'll go to analytics. And it's a lot like reports where you're, remember over here in reports, we had a bunch of folders on the left where your different reports are categorized by lead reports, deal reports, account reports, quote reports. And the same thing happens with analytics. We have over here what they call lead analytics. And what you're seeing here is called a dashboard. And all a dashboard is a collection of little graphs and what they call widgets sometimes. A widget is like a single data point. In other words, this widget in the top left is called today's leads. And if I had any leads today, it would be a count. It's just a number, one data point. And then we have leads for this week. I'll show you very quickly. If I go to leads and I create one, company Walco, last name Smith. The red fields are mandatory, and that's all I have. I can actually create a very empty and useless lead called that. And when I go to analytics now, sometimes you have to do a refresh. Little refresh button right here. Got one, which is up 100% from yesterday. So that's a widget. And then we've got some bar graphs, and we've got some top 10 charts. So this is called a dashboard, and it's a collection of these little charts and widgets. Usually a dashboard can hold up to 10 of these. You can't have 100. You have to create a second dashboard. And this is all lead-related stuff. Then in our opportunities or our deals, these are our deals-related ones. So it's nice. You can build different graphs and so forth. You can also, if you want to just edit one of these, you can do a little bit of editing. You can't change it a lot. But for instance, deals by stages, this tells me how many are at each stage of our process. There's little 3 dots up here in the upper right, and I can edit it. And I could say change the title here. It's a funnel chart. I could change it to say a column chart and hit save. And now I have number of deals by stages as a bar chart. And so you can explore here, go to edit, and instead of maybe counting your deals, you might want to sum up the dollar amount. You might want to see how big are they, because if one's $1 million deal and one's a $5 deal, that might matter. So, and we're grouping by stage. So that's our x-axis down here, is we're grouping by the stage. I know it says Charles and Mary. This is just an example of what a column chart looks like. So I can do that. And now I see it by dollar amount. So you can edit these a little bit here. You may want to create your own right from scratch. We're going to do that next. Couple more things you can do is you can clone this. If I say I wanted to see this and I wanted to see by count, I could just clone it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get one more on this thing, but we'll find out. So this is called deals by stage. Instead of calling it cloned, I'll call it count. And again, it's not going to be the sum. It's going to be a count of how many deals you have. And I hit save. Oh, it did put it down here. So, and by the way, I can edit this dashboard. I'm sorry. I went to the 3 dots and I went to reorder. I might want to move this up here next to the other one. I don't know, a little weird here, but I can resize these and make them fit the way I want. So that's the reorder, and then I hit save. And so these analytics dashboards are kind of nice. They give you like a 30,000-foot picture of just what's going on. Zoho Analytics is a much more powerful, much more complicated report writing system. We'll talk about that someday, but this is the one that comes within CRM. And just a couple things I touched on here kind of quickly was, what's nice about these analytics is they're immediate. I added a lead, and then a minute later, I hit the little refresh button, and I go back to lead analytics. The 1 is there. So, and I got 1 for the week. And so this is the dashboard. And then I showed you how to edit the dashboard. I'm going to go back and look at comments real quick. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Bob. Thank you. Okay. So the next step is I'll show you how to build a component or a widget for this dashboard. Actually, we'll create a whole new dashboard. Hit the little plus here, and we'll just call it my leads dashboard. You can give it any name you want. And by the way, you can set security on it. Right now, only I can see it, but I can give it to everybody, or I could share it with 1 or 2 or 10 other people in the company. So there might be a dashboard just for management. But I'll just make this for me. Over here are the different things we can throw onto our dashboard, and they get kind of complicated. I'm not going to go through them all. Like a cohort graph it's fun, but we'll start with a chart. Everybody understands a chart. I'll click on it here. There's a thing called quick charts, a library of them they already have, and then I can, this is where I wanted to explain why we did reports last week, is I can take a report we did last week and I can now make a chart from it. So I'll go in here and I have to find can't remember what we did last week. I think it was deals. So I'm going to go into, here's all my reports, and I think we did sales this month was our report. Oh, we didn't group anything by it. You know what? Let's go back and do a report real quick. Makes better sense. I will create a new report. We'll call it, we'll look at deals, real common one. We'll look at deals by salesman. You cannot use a tabular report if you want to make graphs or charts. And the reason is that this does not count or total anything. We need either a matrix report or a summary report. We need numbers in order to display them. So I'll do a quick summary report. We did this last week. I will have the name of the deal, the day it's going to close, the stage. We should put the amount in there. And then under here it says columns to total. I'll actually group it by its closing date. we're going to want to like look at this by month or something. And under columns to total, I'm going to want to total the amount. But there's other numerical things like how long it took to close the deal, the conversion time. Any numerical field that can be totaled can be put in here. And you might want to say, I really want to see the average too, the average deal. And so I have this report, I'll run it, and now I have all these dates and I have these won and lost deals. What I do want to do is save it and give it a name. So I'm just going to call it Dashboard Deal Report. I'll put it on my deal folder. All right, so we made a report. Now I can go to analytics and where's my new dashboard? Didn't save it. All right, make a new dashboard. Z-School Dash. Put a chart in here from a report. It says pick the report. So under deals, we have the dashboard deal report. And there's my report. And now it knows what fields are available for me to report on. So I'll do here deals by months. And I could do a record count, but I can also do the sum of the amount or the average of the amount. And that's because these two fields are the ones I chose to total. So I'll actually show them both. I'll do the sum, and then I'll hit a plus here, and I'll say, show me the average. And we'll do plus. The count is going to be weird because the scale is going to be off. I wouldn't do the count here. Wow, let's try it. Nobody gets killed. And then we group by closing date. And I have trouble doing it by month again. Can I do that here? Probably not. All right, there's our closing date. So we have, this is kind of a messy dashboard, but this is how you learn. So I have the sum over here on the left, and that's the blue bars. And then I have the count over here on the far right, and that is the average, the count of how many I have, and then there's the average of the amount. So where I have two, the average was 50 because I guess one was $100,000, the other must have been $0. So there's my graph, ugly as it is, but you can always come in here and say, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's edit this. I'll get rid of the record count. I don't know why this isn't showing here. We'll just do the sum of the amount, keep it clean. And I've just created a dashboard. I really don't like these dates. I want to group them, but I'm not going to waste time on that right now. There are some other things here. For instance, a KPI is just a widget here. These are these key performance indicators. So I could say, you know, the number of open deals is 2,000. So we'll pick that. I open deals. Again, I pick the deals lead. I count them. That's all I need to know. The duration. I want to look at like the created is this month, and what that does is it will show me how I'm didn't create any this month. We'll look at this year. The 12. So these are the different dashboard graphs you can have. And keep adding them, and then I save my dashboard. We'll do one more that's interesting. I can come up here and add another component. I kind of like these KPIs. There's what's called the top 5 or top 10. These are rankings. So you might want to see my 5 largest, 10 largest deals. So I would pick my deals. I would use the dollar amount, and then the criteria, I might want to say like the stage is not closed. Like if they're closed, I don't want to see them. So I say stage is not, and then I come in here and say closed won. I don't want to see closed lost. I don't want to see lost to competition. I just want to see the ones that are open. And again, I might want to look at closing date is this year, and I'll rank by the amount down here. show top 5, I'll say show top 10, and I'll edit. Same field cannot be used to measure and grouping. Oh, that's grouping up there. Oh, that's good, except it doesn't give me a name, does it? So I'd want to edit this. I'll change the count. Instead of count, I'll put in the deal name. Put in the amount here, and I'll put the deal name down here. So now we have our deals here, and I can actually click on this deal, and it will open up a new window and take me to it. Well, it takes me to the report behind it, but there's the deal. So I'm building a dashboard, and again, I can go to the 3 dots, and I can reorder it and put this here and maybe make it bigger. So I think you guys get the basic idea. A couple more tricks. If you have a dashboard you really, really like, say like this one right here, this, or not a dashboard, but a chart, you can hit the 3 dots and you can add it to your home. You know, when you go into Zoho, there's a home page. This is where we all log in. And each user has his own home. I'm logged in as Homer, and so this is Homer's home page. And I don't have much on here. I've got my tasks, my leads, my pipeline by stage. So I'm going to go back to these activities, these analytics. I'm going to take this 10 largest deals, and I'm going to click on Add to Home. And when I do that, it just tells me added successfully. So it's over on my home page now. It just got thrown usually at the bottom. And there it is. Again, once I'm in this home page, and all this home page is it's a collection of all your dashboard widgets, is I can reorder this, and I may want to put this, I'll resize it, and this graph is a little too big, so I'll put it over here, and then I'll drag this up here. And, you know, so you can do this kind of stuff. So you can right-click on anything you see in analytics and add it to your home page. And now, when I log in the morning, this is what I'll see. I might want to edit this and say, again, I can edit this here. I might want to change it to my 10 largest deals. Oops, I can't edit this. That's all I can do is these things. Last thing about the home page here is 2 weeks ago, we talked about how to create views. For instance, in leads, we have all the leads in the company, and there's 71. And then we created some views here, like junk leads. That was a view we created. We have one here. So there's a one here called, recently created leads. I taught you how 2 weeks ago to go down here, create a new view. So you could say my leads in my state, and you would write a view of all the leads in New York State or whatever. But when I'm on the home page here, if I want to add one of those views, I don't have to build it in analytics. I can actually add it right from a view here. So where it says add component, I'll say get from a custom view. Normally I get them from dashboards, and that's, here they use the word dashboard. As you know, they use the word analytics up here, so you got to be, changes sometimes. But I'm going to say give me a custom view, and then which module do you want to see? And I can say leads, and I can say show me the junk leads. And then you give it a name like junk leads, because we have to do something with them. And so it added a view down here called junk leads. So, you know, I was able to build a view from class 2 weeks ago, and you can add that view here. So I've got deals closing this month. That was a view under the deals module. And then we have up here tasks, which is from my activities. And then these were leads that were created today. So again, you can use put a combination of views and dashboard widgets. The third thing you can add is actually external website stuff. I'll try to do one. I haven't found one. I should have found one before I did this. But let's say I have, you know, I'm in 14094 and I do weather, and I have this little chart here. I think what I'll do is I'll take this URL, as ugly as it is. I'll go back to CRM now, and I'll add a component, and I'll pick widget, hit next, create a widget. And the hosting is external, so I can actually get data, say, from Zoho Books or some other Zoho product, but I could also get data externally, and I just put the URL in there and install that here and just say weather, and now I have, in my home page, I'll have the weather down here. All right, Google doesn't like the iframe or the redirect stuff, so that was a bad example. Like I said, you might have to, they want to be able to show you ads or something through there, so they don't want you taking the data. But you can display a web page here, not all of them. So those are the three kind of things you can put on your home page. And you edit your home page by going over to these three dots, and then you can add a component. If I do a reorder, I can get rid of something. So like this thing here, I can hit the three dots and delete it because it's not working. It's giving me trouble. I don't know why. Get rid of it. Let's see if I can get rid of it here. Yep. Okay, so it's gone. The last thing I'll say about home pages is you can have, everybody has their own home page. And it's kind of, if you're in a large organization, each person's home page kind of has to be built for them, and they've got to do it. So you can actually build over here. If I hit this drop box, we can have what are called customized home page. And you can have a home page for different roles in the company. I could create a home page here called the, you know, if our company's name is the Homer Co. Home page, and I could start putting dashboards in here, like my lead analytics. There's my widgets from the lead analytics. I'll use all these. And then these are my custom views that I created. So I'll pick my leads module and show them the junk leads and the new leads. And then the widgets down there are, I got my weather, but it doesn't work. We'll add it anyway. And so it's there. So now I save this. I call it the, I share this, I have to share this not with people, but with entire groups of people. So all the CEOs in my company and all the management. Basically, this is everybody in the company. I say, you know, Homer homepage. So now when I log in at home, I have a choice of two home pages. I have my homepage. This is the Homer Co. homepage. This is the company-wide homepage. But I also have my personal page here. I can't have more than one company-wide page. I could make a page for salespeople, and if I had a different role called accounting, I could make a page for them because they might want to see, they may not want to see the deal. They might want to see financial stuff. So I can have pages for groups of people. Every person can have their own, but if you have a lot of people, you got to build everyone. Otherwise, you can build one for everybody or large groups of people. And so that's the Zoho approach to home pages is you can have your own or you can have one for everybody. Let everybody, when they log in, kind of see what's going on. And that's really the beauty of these, it just tells you one lead. It doesn't tell you who owns it or who it is or if it's any good. It just tells you there's one. You can click on it and view it or view them. It'll take you to a report. So that's like the trade-off with reporting data. You have detailed reports where there's tons of text, lots of columns, and then you have these summary reports where you just have a count of lead sources here. And, I've got 73 deals. It doesn't tell you who they are, how good they are, just that you got a lot. All right, I'm going to go look at the chat and take questions. I think I'll end the recording right now, and we'll take the questions.